is a Nintendo Switch. This is a lot of Nintendo Switch games. To be exact, I have over 400 Nintendo Switch games. So obviously with having that many Nintendo Switch games, there's going to be some bad Nintendo Switch games. And there's still a lot of Nintendo Switch games out there, even more than my collection. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of Nintendo Switch games, especially on the eShop. There's digital exclusive games out there. And in today's video, I want to show you some of the worst Nintendo Switch games that I've played. Now, obviously this could be very easy, because the Nintendo eShop has a lot of shovelware. However, I wanted to make a list that was actually a credible list, a legit list, something that you can actually look and see like some serious game contenders on this list and be like, oh, those are bad Switch games. Let me stay away from this. So you're going to see some third-party games, you're going to see some first-party games. There's going to be some things in here that you guys are not going to agree with, but in all honesty, this is my list, so don't get mad at it. You clicked on this video. So let's go ahead and start with probably what is going to be one of my most controversial videos out there. And no, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is not going to be on this list. However, it should be on the list. Now that is going to cause a lot of comments right there. Coming in number 10 has to be Payday 2. Now, this is a game that had so much potential when it was announced for the Nintendo Switch. This literally got announced in like April 2017 for the Nintendo Switch, and during the Nintendo Direct they did a little mini Nintendo Direct talking about Switch games, and this is one of the early Nintendo Switch announcements right here. And when this was announced, Overkill was really hyping this thing up, talking about how the Nintendo Switch version was going to be so unique, it was going to have so many cool updates, it was going to have all the updates, it was going to be up there as one of the best versions to play of Payday 2 out there. And this game just randomly got shadow dropped. It was supposed to come out in 2017. It got delayed into 2018. And so much was wrong with this game. But first off, they actually had an exclusive character. At the time it was exclusive, named Joy, that actually looked like a Joy-Con. Coleman's probably showing an image of the character right now, and it was pretty cool. Obviously this character is now in the PC version, and I think in Payday 3 you can actually play as Joy. But it's kind of cool that Nintendo kind of had their own exclusive character that's now in today's Payday, which is, I think, pretty cool. But the problem with Payday 2 is when this dropped on Nintendo Switch, the version they released was like a very, very outdated version of Payday 2. It was, compared to the PC and consoles, extremely outdated. It was basically like the 2-year version of Payday 2 dropped on Nintendo Switch, but updated better to play. It was missing so many maps, so many things, and it led to so many people not buying Payday 2 for the Nintendo Switch. This is probably actually one of the worst selling Nintendo Switch games of all time. I have heard that not even 10,000 copies of this game was sold, and this is an extremely hard Nintendo Switch game to find, because when it came out, 0 copies were produced because Overkill gave up on this game even before it released on Nintendo Switch. So it's a good port, but due to Overkill basically lying, dropping support so early, and not anybody buying the game, has kind of ruined this game because it's such a big online game. It's kind of a big deal to have a community behind it and a developer behind it, none of which was here. Coming in number 9 is a game that had so much potential that I was so disappointed by. That's Yoshi's Crafted World. Listen, I think Yoshi's Crafted World is such a giant disappointment because one of the things, big gameplay mechanic, this is the big gameplay mechanic behind Yoshi's Crafted World, is that you play the same level twice, but in reverse. So, like, say you are finishing the tutorial level. Once you get to the end, you have to replay the whole level in reverse to beat the level. I think that is laziness right there. That is a horrible gameplay design. And the game looks absolutely stunning. It looks beautiful, but in terms of the level design, I think it's horrible because it focused so much on this whole reversed levels that it just wasn't fun. I was annoyed by playing this game because I had to play the same level twice and it just wasn't fun. It wasn't fun like Yoshi's Woolly World for the Wii U. In all honesty, I would have much preferred Yoshi's Woolly World to come out onto the Nintendo Switch rather than Yoshi's Crafted World. This is such a giant disappointment, and it sucks because I think this game had such amazing potential. I really wish they would have focused on some other mechanic or just focused on something that wasn't that, because that is what really hurt this game. And it stinks because it had so much potential and it looks so nice on the Switch. Number 8's gonna shock a lot of people, and especially because a lot of people are gonna think I'm gonna put the other game on the list, but I was heavily disappointed by the Nintendo Switch version of this game, and that is Sonic Frontiers. Now, I know everyone probably expected me to put Sonic Forces if we're talking a Sonic Nintendo Switch game. However, I think from a port perspective, Sonic Forces was a really good port. Sonic Frontiers was not a good port. Obviously, one of the big things of Sonic Frontiers on all platforms is the pop-in issue. The pop-in problem is very bad on the Switch. It's already very bad on other consoles, but the pop-in is even worse on Nintendo Switch. And it's got so many other problems with the Nintendo Switch version. Obviously, if you only have the Switch, then Sonic Frontiers, it's good to have. Good game to have on your Switch. It's just, for me, as somebody that is a Nintendo Switch player that really does a lot of videos on third-party games, I mean, I have a whole top 10 third-party games series video out there. We've reviewed like 60 third-party games. I was heavily disappointed by Sonic Frontiers because this, I felt, could have been so much better. And I'm very surprised that it was what it was on Nintendo Switch. And I think Sonic Frontiers is a good game. I just think that the Switch version was a giant disappointment, and I cannot recommend Sonic Frontiers on Nintendo Switch unless all you have is a Nintendo Switch, because the game itself is pretty good. It's just, with all of its mechanics and the system, the Switch port, they didn't do a good job, in my opinion. But it has a cool cover art. I even got it signed by Roger Craig Smith, so it's worth something. Coming in at number 7 is Paper Mario Origami King. Like I said, I was going to have games in here that a lot of people are probably not going to agree with, but Paper Origami King, where do I even start with Paper Mario Origami King? Listen, I was supposed to do a video review on this game. So I literally sat down during COVID 2020, this July 2020, I just did nothing but play Paper Mario Origami King. I had people like Coleman message me, be like, hey Max, wanna play? Nope, can't talk, Coleman, I am playing Paper Mario Origami King. I must beat this game. It has to be done, it has to be done. I ignored my friends, I ignored everyone, I didn't do anything. I literally just sat in my room and played Paper Mario Origami King because I needed to get that video done. I played this game so much in that 1 week that I can't explain what happened. I literally could not play this game anymore. The game was so bad that I literally went on like a video game drought after playing. Like, I had to stop playing video games for a few weeks because this game was so bad. Oh my god, the game looks beautiful, but the battle system, how do you defend that battle system? I can't believe there's people that genuinely like this game and then think, wow, the battle system is so good. And this is coming from somebody that hasn't played the good Paper Mario games. I have played Sticker Star, and I have played Color Splash. Oh my god, listen, this is basically what the Paper Mario Origami battle system is. And there is so much of this. Like, this is like the main game, this battle system right here. Now, listen, the characters of Paper Mario Origami King, there's some cool characters in there. But you see this? See how it's a puzzle? You see this? You need to put this in here to complete the puzzle. This is basically what the Paper Mario Origami King battle system is. You put this right here, you line it up, make sure it's in there correctly. Oh my gosh, is it going in? Oh my gosh, it's not going in. Okay, let me turn it. Let me turn it the other way. See if this goes in correctly. Hold up. Wait, hold on. It looks like that's fitting. Hold up. This is going in right here. Oh my gosh, the battle system. Oh my gosh, I won the battle. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And like, that's basically what the Paper Mario Origami King battle system is. And I had to do that so many times. It was, oh my gosh, I couldn't do it. I had to stop playing video games for like a bit because this game was so bad that I couldn't look at my Switch. I couldn't do anything. I questioned everything at that time. Coming in number 6 is probably a very surprising game that landed on Nintendo Switch, but it's probably not surprising that it's on this list. That is the GTA Trilogy. This game, when it came out on Nintendo Switch, well, first of all, the game already did not look great because they went with this weird art style. It looked like they made Roblox characters in GTA form. It was just so weird. But this game had so many glitches, so many problems. It was a mess on Nintendo Switch, and I think it was a mess on all other platforms, if I'm correct here. I might be wrong. But this was not a good version of the game. I mean, I'm not a GTA fan, but I got this for the collection because this is going to be like the last time GTA is probably going to be on Nintendo, let alone the Switch. But this game was not fun. It had problems. It looked like a mess. It had, oh my god, that has to be one of the most disappointing third-party games on the Switch out there because so many people was so excited when that got announced, especially just from a Nintendo Switch perspective, because those games did not hit a Nintendo platform before. I think some of those came like in form of the Nintendo DS, but we didn't have like Vice City, is that what you call it? Yeah, Vice City. I know a lot of people was excited for that, and it just was a giant disappointment. It looked horrible. The glitches, it just was horrible. Coming in number 5 is another first-party Nintendo game. Now, I think Paper Mario probably deserved to be higher on this list, but when I found this game, I couldn't believe what I was playing. Because this is even worse than Paper Mario Origami King. That is Mario Strikers Battle League. Wow. Talk about a horrible game. At least Paper Mario, even though that game sucked, and if I hated anybody in my life, I would probably send them a sealed copy of Paper Mario Origami King to show them how much I feel about them. But this game is even worse because this isn't even playable. Literally, if you are by yourself and you are relying on the CPUs of this game, because that's what this game is, you have to rely on CPUs. I mean, even in online, you know, if you're relying on the CPUs, you're basically screwed. If you're playing this as a single player game, you're screwed because the CPUs, how they work, they're absolutely horrible. I'm telling you, like, I have never seen a game handle something like this worse than this right here. And, oh my god, I don't know what they did. I literally don't know what they did because this game, it's so bad, and it shouldn't be bad. It's Mario Strikers. This is the game that everyone's been wanting to come back. And then somehow Nintendo brought it back, but they made it horrible. These sports games that Nintendo have come out with, specifically the Mario sports titles. Mario Golf was horrible. Mario Golf was disappointing, but at least that was playable. This I couldn't play. I was supposed to do a review on this, but I was literally playing the game. It was so bad, I took the cartridge out and I literally threw the game across and started playing. I think it was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I think I did a video review of that, actually, because that was a good game. This was horrible. And I couldn't play it. This was horrible, and this has got to be one of the worst Nintendo Switch games out there, let alone one of the worst games from Nintendo themselves. And there's just so many problems with this game, especially from its online. There's so many things that you should be able to do that you can't even do. This game is so lackluster. It's not worth the $60. It should be a free game with how bad it is. Coming in number 4 is Balan Wonderworld. You know, I feel like in an alternate reality, or I don't even feel like in an alternate reality. I feel like I remember this game being called Balan Wonderland, but somehow it's been called Balan Wonderworld this whole time. Am I losing my mind? Please let me know in the comments down below, because I feel like this was Balan Wonderland at one point. But no, Balan Wonderworld. Balan Wonderworld. This was supposed to be the big Square Enix IP, new IP. It was going to be so exciting. It was had some sort of connections by the people that I think created Sonic or something, or from Sega. I don't know. Basically, I just know it was this guy's last chance to make a game, and he needed this to be successful. The game was a giant disaster because when the demo came out, the game was horrible. I actually streamed the demo, and literally, I kid you not, the game's color was switching on us mid-stream. Literally, we're playing the game, and the game's color is going green, black, like it's switching colors. It's not supposed to do that. This game also looks horrible on Nintendo Switch, and it's just not fun. I don't know how you play this game and think, wow, this is a fun game. I don't know how this passed through Square Enix, and I don't know why they funded this. And apparently the guy that made this, I think, went to jail or something, so that should be very interesting. And I have it sealed because I feel like this is going to be one of those games that people are going to be like, wow, I really want to play it, but I'm not. No, this game sold horrible. Literally, within the year that this game came out, I think like 2 months later, it was like a $10 game, which is hilarious. Very hilarious. Do not buy the game. Horrible game. Coming in number 3, really hurts to put this on the list because the game is so good and one of my favorite games out there, but the Switch version, don't even know how it got approved to be released. But the coming in number 3 is Alan Wake Remastered. Alan Wake is such an amazing game, so whatever I say about Alan Wake in this video in terms of the Switch version, make sure that you actually play this game. If you only own a Switch, do not buy this game on Switch. This game is absolutely horrible. Literally, there is so many glitches within Alan Wake Remastered. It's so annoying to see this game be the way that it is on Nintendo Switch because it easily could have ran on Nintendo Switch. I think that literally the team behind it literally put the PlayStation 5 versions of these games and just slapped it onto the Nintendo Switch. They didn't even try like upscaling it, making sure it fit properly. It was horrible. There is so many things that was wrong with the game. Like you will be like one of the key things about Alan Wake, if I remember correctly, because I was supposed to do a video on this also, but I just got too busy and it didn't happen. And basically, one of the areas that I'm in the game, like the opening, where you're seeing the city, the mountains were literally like mid-loading in the game for me. Like it looked so bad. The models of like Alan look horrible. Alan Wake himself looks horrible in the game. The game just runs horrible on Nintendo Switch. I don't know how this got approved to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. And it was actually supposed to have a physical release, but it never came out. And Alan Wake also just randomly shadow dropped on Nintendo Switch. I'm convinced that they shadow dropped it in hopes that people would buy it because they knew if they showed this off, no one was gonna buy it. I don't know what went wrong with this game because it shouldn't be this bad, but it's horrible and it stinks because Alan Wake is such a good game that many need to play that unfortunately they just lost a lot of people that would have played it if the Switch version would have been good. And that's honestly one of the worst third-party games I've ever played on Nintendo Switch, and it's, like I said, it's disappointing because this actually could have ran on Nintendo Switch. Coming in number 2 is one that we just did a video on, and that is Mortal Kombat 1. There are some games that just you don't even need to try putting on the Nintendo Switch, and I think Mortal Kombat 1 might have been one of those games that you probably shouldn't have tried to put on the Nintendo Switch. At least if you were gonna try, actually try. Because if you see some of the footage out there of Mortal Kombat 1, I mean, you can see in my video, we did a full video review of this game. This game is so bad on Nintendo Switch, it doesn't even make sense because Mortal Kombat 11, that game ran amazing on Nintendo Switch. So you would think that the next game was gonna run great on the Switch. No, it's two different games, and I believe the same company that ported 11 ported 1, so I don't know what went wrong. But supposedly some of the things are fixed, but I'm not gonna find out because you have to download another 27 gigabyte update to figure out all the problems behind Mortal Kombat 1. This game has so many problems. I experienced cutscenes literally loading in. I would be in the middle of a cutscene, the game is loading, and it needs to load in another cutscene. The cutscenes, they look great. It's the only thing that looks great about the game, but it's a cutscene. But when you see the game, it looks horrible. The game's frame rate is dropping like crazy, which a fighting game should never have that happen. And then glitches throughout the whole game. Literally, I'll be playing the game, and then one of the characters just eats a chunk of the map. Like, the whole map is on the character. There's so many problems with this game. The frame rate goes crazy, and I'm not spoiling the story, but this game is literally unplayable on the Nintendo Switch when you are playing the final chapter of this game because of how the Nintendo Switch is with the loading screens. Really don't know what went wrong with this, and it stinks because 11 was so good, but 1 has to be the worst Nintendo, it's top 2, one of the worst Nintendo Switch games that I have ever played. It is so bad. Do not buy it. Don't even buy it if it's 10 bucks. It's not worth it. So coming in number 1, I feel like some people might not like this being on the list because I was trying to make this a serious list, and I feel like I did that, and I still think the game that I'm about to show you is put in the serious game contender because of everything that they did with this game and where this game came from. But this is our last game that we're going to be talking about today. That game is Martian Panic. I did a full video playing this on the Nintendo Switch. It was actually a really fun video. But this game I was really excited about because it came with an alien zapper. A zapper that was really cool. The quality of the zapper was just impressive. You put the Joy-Con in there, it was so cool. This game is apparently on the Wii too, which I thought was really impressive. But when I played the game, I have never played a game so bad. Like, literally, this is actually unplayable. I was trying so hard throughout the whole video, trying to get through the first level, but it wasn't even, like, I would be shooting things, but it didn't trigger it at all. I would have to literally aim different ways, like way far away from the actual aliens, to shoot the aliens. This game's aim was horrible, the voice acting was horrible, the game looked horrible, and I don't know, the game was such a giant disappointment with the potential to be good, I guess. I don't know, I gotta see if the Wii version was great, but this came from the Wii. This exists on the Wii. I think the Wii came with a shotgun, actually, and then the Switch came with an actual zapper. But Martian Panic is definitely the worst Nintendo Switch game that I've played. Alright guys, I want to know what you guys are thinking. What is your least favorite Nintendo Switch games that you've played on the console? What are games that should have been on this list? And what are games that you disagree with? I feel like the one that people are really going to disagree with was the Sonic Frontiers. That's just my prediction. Knowing my comments, knowing the people that I'm around, and knowing how people feel about that game, I think that's going to be the one that people are not going to be a fan of. But I have been talking for way too much. Make sure to backslash that subscribe button, like the video, check out the YouTube, check out the Twitter. We're going to be streaming on YouTube now every Sunday night. We've been having some interesting streams, very interesting streams. And yeah, check out the Discord server, everything that's in the description. Become a MONADO Marine member, $5 a month, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Man, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet really should have been on this list. Maybe I should have put Paper Mario Origami King at number 1. I need to send my enemies a copy of that game.